When it comes to interior detailing, pet hair is probably my least favorite thing to remove from a vehicle. It always takes way too long and it's extremely tedious just to even do in the first place. But having the right tools for the job can definitely make a huge difference in the time that it takes to actually remove the pet hair from your vehicle. So today, whether you guys are professional detailers or you guys are hobbyists or just dog lovers that looking to remove pet hair from upholstery and carpeting, today I'm going to be showing you guys my favorite tool for the job. So let's not waste any time. Let's get straight into it. Yo, what is up guys? Jamie from Jamie's Detailing. Today we are talking about the Fur Eel Pro from Buff Bright. This is my absolute favorite tool for removing pet hair from vehicles. It works super fast and it actually works in like 3 different ways as compared to your traditional little rubber blade or stone or a little pumice stone or whatever they call them that you are typically using to remove pet hair from a vehicle. This tool right here works really good compared to anything else that I've ever used to try to remove pet hair. It works very fast compared to your typical blade that you might be using. Now this guy right here, this is my old tool that I used to use for removing pet hair from vehicles. And I do gotta say that it worked really good, or I thought that it was working really good, but it still is super tedious to use something like this with these nice little rubber blades on it to remove the pet hair from your vehicle. And it seems like pretty much any tool that I've ever used similar to this for removing pet hair from a vehicle, they just always take way too long, and it is super tedious to sit there scraping the carpet over and over, and you usually get pretty tired by the time you're done doing an entire vehicle. So when I have vehicles now with extremely heavy pet hair, I have actually been leaning more towards this Fur Eel Pro. Now, the biggest reason that I love this tool as compared to your traditional carpet or pet hair removing tools, the biggest reason I like the Fur Eel Pro is because this thing actually is kind of doing 3 things at once. So not only is this actually using all these little blades in here, these nice little rubber blades to actually pull the hair out of the carpeting just like your traditional tool, but it's also actually vacuuming up all the carpet, all the hair at the exact same time. So as soon as it gets removed, it's actually getting sucked right in through your vacuum. And it is also basically cleaning your tool at the exact same time. Before, when I was using this tool on its own, I typically had to use a crevice tool or a vacuum at the exact same time. So while I was scraping up the hair, I could use my vacuum to basically keep this tool clean. This guy right here, the Fur Eel Pro 2, this guy stays clean the entire time that you guys are using it. Every once in a while, you may need to pick some hairs out of here and just let the vacuum suck it up. But for the most part, this guy is actually sucking up all the hair and pulling it out of the carpeting at the exact same time. So basically what you're doing with 2 hands with a tool like this, you can do with 1 hand with the Fur Eel Pro 2. So this thing is definitely way nicer than your typical hair removal tools for removing hair from your carpeting. And this thing works way faster. I would say this thing right here is 2 to 3 times faster than using your traditional pet hair removal tool. So this tool right here has really sped up the job when it comes to removing pet hair from vehicles, and it is way nicer to use than something like this because I can use this one-handed and I'm not trying to scrape hair out of the carpeting, vacuum it all at the same time, and keep my tool clean. Now the Fur Eel Pro 2 is super nice, but it does have one slight downside, but it's something that you could expect from pretty much working with any pet hair removal tool, and that is the fact that this rubber right here is a consumable part. So this guy actually slides off of here, and then you just have this nice little crevice tool. You can use this as a crevice tool if you want. I still use my traditional crevice tool for my vacuum, but you can use this all by itself. But this guy right here is actually a consumable part, and if you guys look really closely at this, you guys will see that the edges on here are getting slightly rounded off. And as you use this thing more and more, this thing will actually stop working after a while, or it just won't pull the hair out of the carpeting quite as efficiently as it did when you first got this thing out of the package. So they actually sell replacement heads for this thing, and they're really cost effective for just how good they work at pulling the hair out of the carpeting. For the time savings that this saves you guys, it is well worth the expense. And any of the pet hair removal tools that are rubber like this, they're all gonna end up wearing out eventually. So you do have to replace most pet hair removal tools, except for like pumice stones and stuff like that. But this guy right here does wear out a little bit, so you do have to replace them from now and again, but they do last a very long time before you need to replace them. So this guy right here, I've probably already used it on about 10 cars, and you guys can see it still works really good. And yeah, I really haven't had any issues with these things since I started using them. So I love using these things for pet hair. They work really nicely, and they speed up my job like crazy when it comes to pet hair. Before, I could have spent on a really rough car, I could easily spend an hour, you know, going from the driver and passenger seats all the way to the back trunk. So pet hair can really take a long time to remove, and it can add a ton of time to a detail if you guys don't have the right tools. But the Fur Eel Pro 2 from Buff Bright has really sped up my workflow when it comes to removing pet hair from your carpeting and upholstery. Let me know in the comments down below if you guys have used the Fur Eel 2 Pros, or if you guys have switched over to any of the other Buff Bright hair removal products. They do have a Tornador attachment that attaches to the Tornador Mini. That was definitely piquing my interest. Usually when I'm cleaning out pet hair, I usually hit it with my Tornador first, and then I pick up all the rest of it with my Fur Eel Pro 2. So I am kind of curious how this thing would work with a Tornador Mini, and using my vacuum in conjunction with that. So anyways, guys, this thing has been a lifesaver when it comes to removing hair from carpeting, but I would love to know your guys' thoughts and opinions, especially if you guys have used this thing in the past. So let me know how you guys like the Fur Eel Pro 2 in the comments down below. But that is pretty much all that I have for today's video, so I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.